Rising, beautiful collective. I don't really know how to start off, but that's normal for me. I don't really know what to say right now. Let me turn this AC on, so hopefully my phone doesn't overheat. I've had some, because I know that people around me who are sending attacks, people who I didn't send for coming for me, just plain stupidity. It's like an attack on genius or something like that. Those people are, falling off. They're transitioning, going into their dark night of the soul. They're transitioning on the 3D, which means completely off this realm. And I've been kind of like going through like accelerated ascensions and incubations, like just a series of them back to back after this, right after the veil on Halloween, right, when the veil was the thinnest. So I just went through a lot of, and while I was, being cocooned, I was being attacked, and, I'm still kind of like, I'm kind of breaking out of the cocoon right now. So it's kind of like half-mast, wings kind of halfway out, kind of trying to dry out and flutter a little bit. But there has been, there was definitely a war against, there is definitely a war against spirituality and genius and intelligence, which are part of the contract, the divine contract. Now, because you have to be pretty stupid to come for somebody who didn't send for you, or you don't know them, they don't know you. It's weird, but that's that demonic energy, right? It's like, on this spiritual journey, just know that once you seek the Christ consciousness, people are gonna, come for you how they did him. So basically, we're also, not only are we healing our ancestors, our bloodlines, and like they're getting downloads from us, and then in turn they're learning wherever they are in their ancestry and giving us downloads as well. So it's an even trade-off. And we're also, it's not only that, we're healing the bloodlines who came up against the Christ consciousness, who came up against Jesus. So they're getting healed in the process, even though they're fighting it, and they would never give that kind of credit to us, but they rather take the credit for us ascending, when we definitely chose to go on that path, because we could have been with them and just been with the shits, and we can still get with the shits, right? Anytime the door is open, that you can walk through it, until it's not, right? So most of us are at a point of no return. Really, once you see some stuff, there's no forgetting it. There's a point of no return, and that's when the healing starts. When you decide to keep moving forward, and as you keep moving forward, you can reach back, pull up this ascended master, this ascended master. It's kind of like a vine effect. You just keep grabbing a vine, swinging forward, and getting the fruits off the vines, and nourishing your entire lineage, your entire bloodline. And really, that's a lot of the mission of what we're here for. And a lot of people just misunderstood the mission and got on a whole bunch of bullshit. And they started doing spell work, that bibbity bobbity bullshit, the word magic, these certain speech patterns that are now giving them away to the point that they are being eliminated and discarded, in the saddest possible way, because they're just like, these people out here that are still on this bullshit are getting straight ignored. They're basically, essentially told to fuck off, and go crawl back into the hole that you came out of, and in so many words, but very politely from what I've seen. And it's like, I'm proud actually, because it's like there's people watching, paying attention, and they're like, what, I want to do better for myself. That's all I've ever wanted, is for people to do better for themselves. I'm not asking for praise and all this stuff. It's just like, I just have things to say, and I feel like people could benefit from it. I know I do, when I follow my own advice, or follow what the downloads bestowed upon me by the Most High. And sometimes I get downloads from the demonic world too. And I light work, I do dark work. I'm a light worker and a dark worker. I get to be in between and stuff, I just, the dark stuff is just as necessary, to be honest. But it's still equal amounts, if that makes sense. But it's, it's just like as needed. I don't spend more time than I, actually. And whereas the light work, I'm here for it any given time, not just any given Sunday, any given time. So these cults and covens, they're still, trying to get new recruits, trying to power back up, and it's just like, it's just not the same. It's like you said, we are not our ancestors, but through their ancestors, through the spell work, dark magic, and things that they were doing, their bloodline and lineage has been weakened almost to the point of being non-existent. Like, they're literally wiping themselves out with the bullshit. Because it's like, okay, so on different frequencies, that's a stairway, that's a rung on the ladder to heaven, to the heavens. We're supposed to be here helping each other, building, creating, finding ways to make our lives better, easier, happier, while still, definitely taking care of ourselves, and striking that balance of what, that we need, because we need some darkness to be able to not only detect but ward off evil. And that's our ego. Our ego protects our light self. It's like, hey, I'm not going to let people keep crossing you. The ego actually is what causes you to set certain boundaries, which fortifies that rung on a ladder, which will be your frequency at the time. Until you ascend more, your boundaries become stronger and stronger towards the top of that ladder. Now, everybody being on the same frequency, we're on a learning curve, so that's probably just not getting ready to happen, right? So it's each one to reach one, and when you reach one, you teach one, and we just keep reaching back and pulling somebody else up who actually wants to ascend, and not somebody who's there to waste our time. Because when you send somebody there to waste, when you pull somebody up who's simply there to waste time, you're not sure about it, they're not sure about it, you don't have time to waste on that. It's like, go do that work, your homework by yourself, figure it out, and then maybe come back when you figure out which way you want to go, or don't. If you want to go stay a low rung on the ladder, then okay, then be that, but be that away from me, because I'm somewhere up here in like the the 10th, 13th, we're up here in the 10th and 13th realms, and whatever else, right? Who knows? While they're down there fighting about money, fighting about everything that is of the earth, while we're building our earthly frequencies to build this ladder to heaven, right? And it's a war on that genius from those on a lower frequencies, those who are still playing in the pig pens, and like, to talk to them at this point is like throwing, casting our pearls before swine, which we have all been there. We've all tried to preach, so to speak, to the swine, and it just it one in one ear and out the other. Like, where's the slop? That's what they're on. That's the kind of time they're on. Where's the slop? Let's go roll around in that. Doesn't matter. Well, it's like, I mean, swine, they eat their own feces. So it's kind of like, what do you really expect from a creature that doesn't even have a self-cleansing system? They don't sweat either, and some of these people who keep coming for the collective, they don't sweat because they're lazy. They don't do anything that causes them to cleanse themselves. They don't understand that motion is life, right? So they rather try to sit and look cute in order to not sweat and things like that, and then attack those who do, and try to make people feel bad about good, honest, hard work. It's kind of weird, but okay, that's not a flex. It's not a flex at all. It's not cute. It's nothing. It's just like, you'd rather sit there and, probably to hide the smell or whatever, and attack somebody who has put the work in because you're jealous, you're feeling some kind of way that you didn't think of at first, yada yada yada. I got stories about that, because there's plenty of things that I thought about, and somebody be like, oh, it's complete genius, and then turn around and attack me later, because it's like, is it because they, and I always wonder, is it because they didn't think of it first, or is it because they want to feel like they can knock me down a peg or two? It's it's just like, every time I take a hit, and then I just come back stronger. So it's kind of sentinel mode, where you you take the damage, the striking or whatever, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and then, you know, as you defend yourself, you just build up more HP. You know, you build up your life force and build up energy from the energy being given to you. You know, because it takes twice as much energy to swing and miss, and sometimes I will do that and just make it, they'll be completely just missing me with the bullshit, and you know, half as much energy than it does to swing and hit. You know, that was even on a movie. What was that? Enough, with Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, it takes twice as much energy to swing and miss than it does to swing and connect. So when you hit, you know, anything that is standing in front of you with any level of density and stability behind it, that power that you distribute is going to come back to you 50 cents, which makes your reaction time to miss more of the bullshit, or have more of the bullshit miss you, that much faster. You know, it makes your reflexes, you know, you get faster reflex. Well, no, faster response time, not faster reflex. Your faster reflexes are actually built, you know, possibly from missing, and just from, you know, consistency in whatever it is you practice, right? Some people practice insults and trash talking, and it shows that it's really all they really can do, you know, apart from, you know, what they started doing to get to the point to feel like they could sit up and just trash talk and insult someone. I mean, shit, we all been there, I guess, at some point. Ooh, okay. And some people, they just specialize in it, and it's just like, could we, you know, like the as above, so below aspect of it, as high as your frequency goes, that's how low your insults could go. But a lot of the collective would just rather not roll around with the pigs. You know, it's just simple as that. Just like you let them roll around in their mud, you know, or the monkey cage or whatever, and let them hurl their feces or whatever. Let them eat cake. Let them have their fun. You know, whatever. You don't have to respond. In fact, you can be somewhere working on something better while they're sitting there focused on you. You know, trying to attack your genius, trying to attack your intelligence. You know, like it takes, I guess, pockets of intelligence and education to be able to insult someone, I guess. But it's just like, ew. Like at this point, it's just like, because I was there, I was on Facebook with you. I was just like throwing out insults. It was out of, you know, more frustration and trying to really just defend myself and everything like that. And, you know, but also it's kind of one of those things that's so stupid, you have to laugh. You have to. You know, and it's just like, all right, well, but these people, they really get in their feelings about it, you know, but they'll laugh, but it's just to mask how bad they feel about themselves, honestly. But it's like, you know, they try to weaponize little things about you that have nothing to do with moving forward. Like, it's keeping them stuck. Like, the old version of you is what's keeping, well, them focusing on the old version of you is what keeps them stuck. They think they're attacking your genius. They're attacking themselves at this point. Hence why I said their bloodline is being weakened to the point that it is non-existent almost. It's translucent, transparent. Like, you see through the bullshit miles away. There are no more illusions that could really be cast, because it's just like, you know, all the little trends and stuff like that. Not with the collective anyway. It might still work on some people who are, you know, they're still new to the game, and definitely those who aren't true to the game, and they're just, you know, the thing is, it's like their manipulation works on each other. That's the stuff they're doing to each other, you know, and they come to you, and then they get mad, and they, you know, they get their best, like, king boss hater or whatever to come for you, and like try to attack you and try to use all these tactics and manipulation, try to weaponize the old you against you. Like, because I know who the old me was, and I know who I am now. And the old me was, you know, still nice, not friendly at all. I'm still not friendly, I'm just nice. So don't base it off the internet and get it twisted and think I'm about to be like, oh, hey, no, that's not me. I don't really do formalities. You know, it's just like, hey, do you need some help? You know, that's really it for me. It's just like, I will help you if you need help, if you ain't on some bullshit. You know, which I don't, you know, everybody's different. I'm just one of those people. I don't care to say hello and all stuff. I'll, like, acknowledge you're here, but it's to expect me to be like, you know, this social butterfly butterfly and stuff like that. Maybe I'll get there one day, but that's definitely not me. And that's a lot of people base that off of what they hear on here and what they see on here. Yes, there is love there until you kill it for yourself. Kill it for yourself, basically. Like, it takes a lot to kill my love, just in general, for a person, any individual person. And even if they're like the shittiest person in the room already, they've been shitty to everybody there, still got love for them until they fuck it up with me. So no one else can mess up your relationship with me except for you. And that's what a lot of people, they get it twisted when it comes to like rumors and gossip. I'm like, well, what about that was your experience with that person? Why was that your experience with that person? Why did that person, like me, like why would I decide to blast somebody on the internet? If they've been close to me, it's because I found out I got backstabbed. It's just like, or I confirmed that I got backstabbed, because usually I do be knowing. It's just like, okay, so gear up. And it was also part of me starting to teach people, because I've always been a pretty good teacher. I've prided myself in that. I got selected to teach a few times, a few different things, and I find joy in it. I find happiness in teaching people. What I do know, because I know my motto is the more you learn, the less you know, and that is so very true. Like, there's so many different Doctor Strange level things on this planet, that we can add to our genius instead of attacking each other like pigs in a pen. Instead of sitting there trying to get the pigs in the pen and casting our pearls before them, because all they're going to do is eat them and shit them out and then eat them again. That's all they're going to do. It's not like they're going to do something magical with them. They're swine. It's just like they're serpents. They're serpent culture. The ones who love gossip and like saying nasty things about people. It's like that was me also on the internet, just like me being pulled out of my character, so to speak. Not in a personal realm, but it was just like on the internet realm. I was like, okay, I'm gonna step outside myself, but without stepping outside myself. And so it's just like, because I'll be damned if I drop a bag fucking with a peasant. I'm just not doing it, just not doing it. They had to work hard to get me out of the positions I was in. And then just like, even then, it was just time to go, because I learned everything I was going to learn there because of who I was surrounded by. I was surrounded by people who wanted me stuck and stagnant and things like that, and they had solidified their position in that corporation or whatever based on the frequency of that corporation. Sometimes you can find the most garbage individual in one of the top positions. It's because of the frequency of that entity, if that makes sense. And it's too low of a frequency for you to operate on, and you have ascended past that frequency, and that's why you just lose it. It just goes. You don't really lose it. You just have to, you're just forced to walk away by the Most High, mostly. Because it's like, we could be out here like fighting for jobs and shit, and fighting for positions that truly don't belong to us. Like, say you get that position, now you're miserable. Where you were happy in a lower level position on what you thought might have been a lower frequency, but it's like, wherever you're happy is the high frequency. You could be anything. You could be like sitting behind a desk somewhere or sweeping a floor. If you're happy doing it, that's when you're at your highest frequency, no matter what your role is. Like, I find happiness in cleaning. I get on a high frequency when I'm cleaning, because I know I'm clearing energy and things like that, clearing out old energy, stagnant energy, dirty energy, stuck energy, and that's why I'm like big on throwing things away. Like, I'm big on being a minimalist, even though I'm not quite there yet. I just buy cooking things, because I cook, that's what I do. Like, I decided to treat myself today because, one, I'm already too far from home, and two, it's just like, it's either I'm cooking or I'm cooking for myself or for a lot of other people. So one way or another, I will be cooking, and with that cooking, it brings me higher frequency, and it brings me, when you're on a higher frequency, you create. When you're on a lower frequency, you're stuck, because you're not happy, you're miserable. You're a miserable motherfucker. Mean, hating, and miserable motherfuckers. What's the word? I was mad and miserable. And that's a horrible place. I thank God I'm not them. When I see these people who are gossiping, mad, miserable, because you ain't mad, mad ass, looking ass through their dingy ass looking glass ass people, while I sit here with whatever this is on my windshield. I gotta laugh at me. That's one thing you learn to do on this journey is you laugh at you too. Like you laugh at the old you especially, because it's just like, damn, that bullshit used to trigger me like that weak shit out of here. Like, what are you doing? Like, and that's when it becomes funnier. Like, clearly you don't know me, and clearly you never did. Because it didn't work the way you thought it would then, and then it definitely does not work now. But yeah, they attack the old you and the belief they're attacking your genius. In the belief that they're slowing you down, they're stagnating you and keeping you stuck through all this word magic and, this little sabotage magic and, these fucking love spells are sad, dude. It's just like they just have the adverse effect when you're dealing with earth angels, empaths. We already know. And like the fact that you tried to use magic is just manipulation. So the fact that you tried to manipulate our love for you makes it null and void. It cancels any contract you had because you just tried it. You just fucking tried it. Like, you can't make someone love you, and even if you are able to successfully cast that spell on someone who is in a low frequency, they still don't love you for real. Like, y'all need to get that through y'all's head. That shit is sad. Like, all that jar magic and shit, once they see through the illusion, and once they start to love on themselves more, they see through your bullshit. They feel through your bullshit. To feel is to see. They say those who do not hear will feel. Those who do not see will feel. Well, feeling is all of that. It's all